Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another video on ForgottenWeapons.com. I'm Ian McCollum, and I'm here today in Bern, Switzerland at the Swiss Shooting Museum, or Swiss Target Shooting Museum, the Schweizer Schützenmuseum. And we are going to go in and take a quick tour through the cool stuff that they have on display. Let's head on in. So the museum as an institution was founded in 1885 here in Bern. Then in 1939, they bought the land here, built this building, and moved the museum to these premises where it currently is today. Now, I should tell you that the museum is actually closed by the time you see this video for renovation. They're rebuilding the exhibits to make them better and more interesting. And it will be open, they anticipate reopening in the autumn of 2025. So, as it is currently set up, you won't actually see it, but all of these same guns are going back up on exhibit. They're just changing them around, for example, so that they're not displayed on the staircase. What we have here, though, is a really cool collection on this stairwell of progression of Swiss Ordnance rifles, going from early muzzleloaders through to things like Milbank Amsler cartridge conversions, Vetterlis, Schmidt-Rubens, including some particularly rare Schmidt-Rubens. We've got, for example, a 1908 cartridge development trials rifle, and then through to the Sturmgewehr 57 and Sturmgewehr 90. That's a movie prop. And you may recognize these wax bullet dueling pistols. Very cool. Anyway, the first floor here, we have, so the museum is dedicated to Swiss shooting sports, and there's a tremendous history of shooting competition in Switzerland. Sorry about the glass reflections here. So the museum is a mixture of firearms, dating as far back as, with this example, to the 1560s. That's a gorgeous gun, which, by the way, is a combination action of both wheel lock and matchlock. Anyway, the museum is a combination of the firearms as well as the history of shooting competitions in Switzerland. So they used to hold these every year, or later every couple of years. They would set up some pretty elaborate facilities, pavilions and such, for the annual or semi-annual shooting competitions. They have a bunch of the prizes. They have photos or renderings of the competitions, documentation, guns interspersed. Let's get a view in down here. That'll work with the glass a little better. So again, a lot of the memorabilia of shooting competitions, trophies, prizes. Prizes were a variety of different things. There were guns that were given out as prizes, there were watches, there were medals like this, and they have this really cool, really comprehensive assortment that goes up to some pretty recent years of Swiss competition. Gold pocket watches were apparently a fairly common prize given out. Once again, we have a mixture of firearms scattered throughout the museum, including here modern target pistols, some slightly older target pistols, military and target pistols. It's a nice combination of things that have been donated to the museum by sport shooting groups, target shooting groups, as well as collectors. Old gunsmithing lathe. Right. If we then continue up to the third floor, we have another cool display of guns along the wall. This one is more than just Swiss. There's a bunch of Swiss stuff here, but then also German, French, British, other countries. Like I said, the museum's being renovated, the displays are being changed out, the building's going to stay the same, and these guns will all remain on display, just in a little bit of a better format. So here's a cool example of some of the stuff that you'll see in Switzerland. Because there is so much basically intermarriage between the military and the sport shooting community, there are guns like this that are military actions that are built up as target shooting rifles. And that one was actually made by Waffenfabrik Bern, normally a military arsenal. But because there is so much cooperation with the sport shooting community and the sport shooting tradition, you'll get a lot of converted target rifles from military guns. There's a very substantial collection of trophies and medals. Well, medals here. The trophies are over there. Now, this was a particularly cool rack, and all of the rifles have been taken off of it because we're going to be filming them this afternoon, but that was a batch of Stammsauerer Swiss prototype semi-auto rifles. So by the time you see this video and the museum reopens, those will be back up on display, and you'll be able to check them out, as well as hopefully see the video that I've put together detailing them. I am told the most popular exhibit in the museum was the air gun here that you can actually do some shooting with in the museum. This was originally set up in a department store, the idea being while mom is shopping, the kids can be entertained with a little bit of air gun competition, which sounds like a fantastic idea to me. I have some cartridge production boards, so very old 18mm ammunition for muzzleloader conversions, Vetterli ammunition production, Schmidt-Rubin, so that's the GP90, the early GP90 for the Schmidt-Rubins, paper patched bullets. It's not just guns and trophies, there's an assortment of other accoutrements of target shooting competitions. These are all tools for precisely measuring how far shots are from the actual exact bullseye. So fine measuring of score, a variety of different tools for doing so. Another batch of target rifles, modern down to relatively old. And then one of the coolest elements, well, one of the elements with a really cool story here in the museum is this bear. I apologize for the glare on the glass there. This is a bear named Amiko, who was a live prize, won by a Swiss shooting team in Finland in 1937. Apparently times were different in the 30s because they won a literal live bear as a competition prize. They brought it back, gave it to the Zurich Zoo, where it lived happily for 5 years until passing away. And after it died, they preserved the pelt and put it up here on the wall of the shooting museum. So there's the museum as it stands in 2024. Like I said, they are shutting this down in September of 2024 for about a year, until the fall of 2025, to redesign and rebuild it. And I'm confident that what they're going to end up with is going to have just as much cool stuff on display, hopefully, but organized in a little bit better format. So if you're interested in the history of Swiss shooting sports, history of target shooting in general, Switzerland has always been a hotbed of really good target marksmanship. Stop by if you're in Bern, check out the museum. It's not that big, it doesn't take that long to go through, but it's a good time. Thanks for watching.